Would Americans today actually care if our president were single? I was wondering, so I decided to hit the streets of Denver, Colorado and ask a few of them, and boy, were their answers interesting. Happy Tuesday, you guys. I'm Robbie Couch. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. I host Views from the Couch and I make brand new videos every single Tuesday at noon Eastern. Hit that subscribe button, you don't want to miss it. Okay, back to business. Would Americans actually care if we have a single president in the White House? I asked the question because Cory Booker, who's a senator from New Jersey, is running in the Democratic primary this year. And if he wins the nomination and then goes on to win the 2020 election, he would be the first single president in the US in a really long time. Like the 1800s, long time. We have James Buchanan, who became president in 1857, and then there's Grover Cleveland, single dude, who became president in 1885. So I went outside, I promise I do go outside from time to time, and asked people on the streets of Denver, Colorado, if they would care if our president is single. Here's what they said. So how do you feel if we had an American president who was a bachelor, single guy?
I guess I'm rather indifferent to it. I don't think I have a strong opinion either way.
Do you think there would be any upsides to having a single president as opposed to a president who's married with kids?
Yeah, I do see some potential upsides to it. Set themselves apart from personal situations and figure out how to run an entire country. That said, it wouldn't necessarily make me more likely to vote for someone just because they're a single president.
If you have a plan and you can execute it and you don't need, it's just your team. You don't necessarily have to have a wife or a significant other to execute a certain plan. It's just your whole team around you.
People's drive is different when they're single. When you're married, you have a focus on family and focus on things that are family oriented.
I mean, I'm all for it, man. It don't really matter to me, man. I just feel like it's nobody's business, you know what I mean?
All those sort of traditional roles can be filled in other ways. I don't think it's super important to have a first lady or a first husband or whatever it might be.
Because he does have a girlfriend right now, dating Rosario Dawson, and so there's been some rumors about a possible White House wedding. Do you guys think that'd be a cool thing or
Everybody does need love. You might not be ready for love, you know?
Yeah.
You might want to be single. You feel me? I'm just saying. He backing. Hey, man.
What do you think are the downsides if we didn't have a first lady or a first partner? Would there be any downsides to that, do you think?
Just because you are the president doesn't mean you have to have a partner.
But I can't see why there'd be a downside either. Anything that would make Trump leave the picture altogether, doesn't matter if he's single or married or what he is, he's a creep.
So the interviews were a lot of fun to have, and basically no one gave a damn if our president is single or not. Let me know in the comments if you think that's weird or not weird, because I was kind of surprised that unanimously everyone seemed to be on the same page. But I'm skeptical because Americans tend to be very particular about the presidents that we elect. So a 2015 Gallup poll that I found had some pretty surprising findings. 7% of Americans still would not vote for a black candidate for president. And for a candidate that's a woman, it's 8%. The same poll found that a whopping 38% of Americans would not vote for a Muslim candidate for president. And 40% of Americans would not vote for an atheist for president. In many ways, Americans are more open-minded than they've ever been in terms of who they would vote for president. But still, there are many barriers standing in the way for candidates who aren't able-bodied, cisgender, straight, white, Christian men. So what about a candidate who is single? There's really not too much empirical data that suggests Americans would care one way or the other when it comes to having a single president. But many experts on the subject do think that if you're a single, unmarried person, it would definitely be a barrier to the presidency. What's interesting though is US history suggests it might have been easier to be a single man in power way back when than it is today. Stephanie Coontz, the author of Marriage, A History, told Political Magazine that when the country was first getting its feet wet with independence, a wife and children really weren't all that necessary to becoming a respected leader. In fact, the most heroic of all, the outlet reported, was the man who put his commitment to country before all. That includes his wife and his children. But the thing is, that attitude slowly evolved throughout the 19th century when the family unit sort of became like the building block of American culture and the American economy. So a candidate's personal relationships kind of got thrust more and more in the spotlight because people actually cared about, who he was sleeping with, or if he had a family, or if he was married, or whatever. Nowadays, being all wifeyed up or hubbied up is basically a prerequisite for running for the presidency. When Lindsey Graham ran for the presidency back in 2016, he was always asked questions about how his White House would function without a Mrs. in the White House. When the Daily Mail asked him about this very topic, he told them, "I've got a lot of friends. We'll have a rotating first lady." All right, Lord knows I despise Lindsey Graham cracker. If you also can't stand Lindsey Graham, give this video a thumbs up. But even someone like me who despises the guy truly could not care less. We shouldn't really care if our president is married or single or in a throuple. It doesn't matter to me, and I don't think it should matter to you. Plus, American adults have gotten increasingly single throughout the past few decades. In 2017, 45% of American adults were unmarried. That marks a major increase from generations past. And 53% of those unmarried people were women. Maybe it's time a single lady literally runs the world. Who runs the world, girls? Who runs the world? So, if you don't like Cory Booker or Lindsey Graham or James Buchanan because of their politics, that's 100% fine. Don't vote for them. But if you don't like them just because they're single, come on. All right, I have a question for you. Comment below on what person you would love to see in the White House, but they gotta be single. Anna Faris, Michael B. Jordan, Shawn Mendes. Actually, Shawn Mendes is not 35 years old yet, and he's also Canadian, so I don't think he could be president. But let me know in the comments what single person you would love to see in the White House who is single. If you like this video or Cory Booker, give this video a thumbs up, please. I will love you forever. And don't forget to subscribe to Views from the Couch. I have brand new videos every single Tuesday, and they're great, they're lovely, they're award-winning. No, I haven't won an award, so ignore that last part, but they're great videos, and you should subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, stay calm and couch on.